Michael Bisping had high praise for Sean Strickland following his dominant third-round TKO over Anthony Fluffy Hernandez in the UFC Houston main event. According to Bisping, it was one of the best performances of Strickland's career and proof that he's once again a legitimate middleweight title threat. Bisping pointed out how sharp Strickland looked from the opening bell, sticking to his jab, controlling range, and shutting down Hernandez's attempts to close distance and wrestle. As for Strickland's post-fight call-out of Khamzat Chimaev, Bisping believes the timing was perfect. Sean went directly after the champion, accusing him of holding up the division without defending the belt. Given their past training history, Bisping feels the trash talk carries real weight. Strickland knows Chimaev's style firsthand and has been taking verbal shots at him for months. Although Nurmagomedov has long been seen as the likely next title challenger, Strickland's emphatic win may have shifted the narrative entirely. Many in the MMA community now believe the UFC could bypass Imavov and give Strickland the opportunity instead, especially considering the built-in bad blood and promotional value of the matchup. Here's what Bisping had to say.
Sean was saying the right thing. He's trying to get that title shot. He's trying to get Khamzat in the ring, and he wants to fight him for the belt. And I'll tell you what, the version that we saw of Sean Strickland last night, that was busier with the power shots. We always know he throws the teeps and he throws the jabs, but last night he was unloading with the right hands a little bit more. The jab opens everything up. The teeps keep the opponents at bay. It stops Fluffy advancing and progressing and getting into the pocket, which is where he wants to be, to land a couple of shots and then to get the takedown. Well, the jabs and the teeps kept him at bay, kept him at range, didn't allow him to get on the inside, and then Sean was moving away. It was a really good technical performance by Sean Strickland, and if you can't appreciate what you saw, maybe it's just because you haven't spent as much time training as I have.
After stopping Anthony Hernandez, Sean Strickland didn't just call out Khamzat Chimaev, he went completely off. His post-fight rant was so intense that the UFC reportedly cut his microphone during the press conference and ended the session earlier than expected. Strickland's comments went well beyond typical fight promotion. He made strong personal remarks, including references to where Chimaev lives and other sensitive topics that many felt crossed a serious line. As most fans know, Chimaev is from the Caucasus region, and so is Ilia Topuria. The two champions share history, having trained together earlier in their careers at All Stars Gym. On the same night as Strickland versus Hernandez, a Georgian YouTuber was hosting a live reaction stream. A few hours after the fight, Ilia Topuria and former champion Merab Dvalishvili joined the broadcast to address the controversy directly. Topuria made it clear that many people don't fully understand who they're talking about when they casually make threats or reckless statements about fighters from the Caucasus. He emphasized that the mindset in that region is different and warned that situations can escalate quickly when certain boundaries are crossed. Here's what Ilia had to say.
It's always easy to sit thousands of kilometers away and throw insults at guys from the Caucasus. You can say whatever you want when you're comfortable, when there's no real pressure on you. But talk is cheap when you're safe behind a microphone or a screen. Come prove it in the octagon instead of just talking too much from far away. The mentality that we Caucasians have is different. I know how we're built. Where we're from, we stand up for the words we say. And people who don't do that will face consequences. If someone has something to say, the octagon is there. That's where respect is earned. I understand that some words need to be spoken to build hype, but it shouldn't cross lines. When the cage door closes, everything becomes real. And that's when you find out who you're really dealing with.
Ilia Topuria just jumped on a long live stream with Aiden Ross, and it delivered plenty of viral moments. Here's a full recap of what went down. First, Topuria gave his prediction for a possible clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland. Ilia sided with Chimaev, saying he believes Khamzat would get the job done. He also agreed to potentially appear on Aiden's stream together with Khamzat in the future, something that could easily break the internet considering the recent tension. But the biggest headlines came when Ilia spoke about Khabib Nurmagomedov. Topuria said he was never truly entertained by Khabib's fighting style. According to Ilia, what made Khabib exciting for many fans wasn't necessarily his performances inside the cage, but the fact that he was undefeated. He claimed the aura came from the perfect record and the anticipation of someone possibly beating him, not from the action itself. Ilia added that he only really found Khabib entertaining in his final couple of fights, making it clear he was never a fan of that dominant grappling-heavy approach. Topuria also weighed in on Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, and he didn't sugarcoat it. Despite the bout being a 5-round interim title fight and earning Fight of the Night honors, Ilia called it horrible and said in his view both guys looked bad. A bold statement considering how highly the fight was praised. Let's hear from El Matador.
Khabib? He wasn't fun to watch till the last two fights, and what made him fun to watch was that he was undefeated, and the fact that there's gonna be someone that is gonna beat him. But the reality was, I never was fan of his fight style. Never.
Well, it's wrestling. It's like severe, you know. Look, the chat's agreeing with you to an extent, right? Like, I'll be honest, I really love seeing the knockouts, and I love seeing the kickboxing, the boxing, the striking. I'm a big fan of that too. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Honestly, I wasn't a really big fan of UFC back when he was dominating, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be a dick. They're calling me a dick sucker, but like, you made me a big fan.
Thank you very much.
God damn it, bro! Fuck!
Oh, I forget that you had pain in your...
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
Khabib didn't stay silent for long. Under a post discussing Ilia's comments, Nurmagomedov responded in Russian with a short but pointed message that translates to, "He should fly over here. Let's work." A subtle challenge, inviting Topuria to come to Dagestan and settle things the old-fashioned way. With Dagestan and Georgia sharing a border, the invitation felt both personal and direct. This only adds fuel to the ongoing tension between Ilia and the Dagestani camp, especially after Topuria's strong comments about Islam Makhachev and his bold claims about being ready to dominate anyone in that circle. Meanwhile, Islam's potential welterweight title defense remains uncertain. Talks of a possible fight with Kamaru Usman reportedly cooled off after UFC executive Hunter Campbell pushed for a different direction. As of now, the division remains wide open. Things escalated quickly after Ilia Topuria made strong remarks about Sean Strickland during a Georgian YouTube live stream. Once those comments were translated and circulated online, the tension exploded. In the stream, Topuria warned Strickland to be careful with his words regarding Khamzat Chimaev and people from the Caucasus region, suggesting that such comments are taken very seriously there. While it wasn't framed as a direct threat, many fans interpreted it as a clear warning. Now, new footage shows Strickland firing back. He didn't hold back, saying that if Topuria has a problem, he should address it face-to-face rather than online. In typical Strickland fashion, he intensified the situation with personal remarks, even referencing Topuria's family in a way that many believe crossed a line. What began as a simple title call-out has now turned into a broader feud involving multiple fighters, cultural tensions, and escalating trash talk. And judging by both sides' reactions, this rivalry isn't cooling off anytime soon.
Listen, if you were to see me in person, and come and say that shit to me, I would smack you in the fucking face. I would continue to hit you in the fucking face. This is what I fucking do. I like to hurt people. Don't be shocked at what I did. Be shocked at yourself. As a matter of fact, if you want to run your fucking mouth not on the internet, this is for buddies. Like, we used to hang out back in the day. Like, you should come up to me, do it in person, and bring your fucking kids. So after I smack you in the mouth, they could watch me smack their fucking coward father, and maybe they could learn a lesson and not be a bitch like you. Stay off the internet. Stop running your fucking mouth.
Alex Pereira has now set his sights on a massive heavyweight clash, officially calling out Ciryl Gane for the upcoming White House event. With Tom Aspinall sidelined and no clear return timeline, Pereira sees an opportunity to fight for an interim heavyweight title. Reports have already surfaced suggesting the UFC is exploring Pereira versus Gane on a major card leading into the White House event. Speaking on a recent Portuguese podcast, Pereira explained why the matchup makes perfect sense. He wants a true super fight at heavyweight, and if Jon Jones isn't available, Gane is the logical choice. With uncertainty surrounding the division's title picture, an interim showdown could be the natural move, and Pereira is making it clear he wants that spotlight event. Meanwhile, the White House card is shaping up to be stacked, potentially featuring multiple championship bouts across divisions. If it all comes together, it could be one of the biggest UFC events in recent memory. Here's what Pereira had to say.
All I want is a super fight at heavyweight. Let's make the fight with Ciryl Gane. That's the fight I want for heavyweight right now. The timing makes sense. Everything makes sense. It would be perfect at the White House against Gane. That's a mega fight right now. Something big for the fans, for the division. If I go to heavyweight, I must definitely fight for the belt. That's what I want. Unless they make me fight Jon Jones, which is unlikely. If the UFC wants to please me, a fight at heavyweight would really please me, you know? I respect Ciryl. He's a great striker, fast, dangerous. But after what we've seen in the division lately, let's make it happen. Let's make the heavyweight division great again. Step up, Gane. I'm ready. Let's go.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.